Hey everybody, and thank you again for tuning into my channel. So today I want to talk about product pricing. So as you guys know, my husband and I recently bought more vending machines, and we are going through and like redoing the product mix and everything like that. So one of the things that we noticed right away as well was the price of this bottle of tea. So this bottle of tea, believe it or not, they were selling it for 70 cents in their vending machines. 70 cents. So before I get into any of the pricing strategy, I just wanted to go over the numbers and just how important this is. Okay, so for this item from Sam's, you get 24 in a case for $8.98 a case, which means each one of these is 37 cents. So if they're charging 70 cents per bottle, then they're making a 33-cent profit per bottle. So multiply that by 24 bottles in a case, they were only making $7.92 off the case. So they were actually making less off the case than the case cost. But anyway, so if they had been charging what they should have been charging, so say they charge $1.25. So when do you go anywhere and get something to drink for 70 cents? Even at like Walmart, it's not that cheap. So just some common sense we just needed to be used in this case. But anyway, if you went and if you charge $1.25 for each bottle, you would make 88-cent profit. So already that's what, 55 more cents that you're making per bottle. So 88 more cents times 24 bottles in the case is a profit of $21.12 per case. They lost $13.20 by not charging the right price. So yeah, they made money. They made $8, but I mean, you could have made $21. So this is why it's so important to get this pricing right. So with that being in mind, the basic rule to figuring out how much you charge per product is the cost per item. So like I said, this came at 24. So the cost, which was $8.98, divided by 24 is your cost per each. And you take your cost per each times 2.2. And that's generally how you get your price. And then you will have to round up or down if it doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. So this principal rule is generally good. It actually doesn't work for this item because you need to charge more for this item. So I said that sometimes you just have to put some common sense into play. If you have no clue, go to Kroger, go to Publix, go to Walmart, wherever you go grocery shopping, and see what they charge for a bottle. What do you pay when you go in a vending machine and get something to drink? So if you just have no other basis to go off of, just do that. Go in Walmart and see how much they charge. So like I said, there's some other factors that go into setting the price. So one of them is the demographic. So who's at the location? Is it a warehouse or a factory where it's more blue collar people who make a lower income? Or is it like a business district full of corporate offices where there's lawyers and maybe doctors and things like that, people who make a little bit more money? So for this bottle, if I sold this at the factory or warehouse, maybe it would be $1. But if I sold it in a business warehouse or a business district, maybe it'd be $1.25 or even $1.50, or it could be $2. Just depends on where you are. It's probably going to be $1.25 based on our prices at a warehouse, and $1.50 or $1.75 in a business district, just because that's what our market holds. So, and then you want to consider the traffic at the location as well. So is your machine in the break room where there's the same people coming in and out every day that work at the office? Or is it at a salon or some kind of repair shop where there's different people coming in and out and they don't come back every day? Or maybe they only come back once a month or once a year even, or only that one time. So you need to consider the traffic at that location. So if it's somebody that is like a break room where you have repeat customers, maybe you keep the price a little bit lower. If it's somewhere where there's a captive audience, like a auto body shop or a salon or barber shop, where people are waiting around, you could charge a little bit more because they can't necessarily get up and go and get something else, or maybe there's nothing around for them to go and get something else. If their car is being worked on, they can't just drive around the corner and go grab something to drink from the gas station. Another thing to consider is competition. So where is the nearest store? So I've had locations where there's a store in the office building, there's a store at the lobby level, but it didn't play into pretty much really any competition because their prices were so high that people didn't want to go and buy it from them. And people are lazy in general, so they didn't want to leave their office to go downstairs to go get something to drink. So they rather use the vending machine, even if, you know, we keep our prices pretty reasonable, but even if we probably charged more than downstairs, they still would have used our vending machine just to avoid going in the elevator to go down and buying something out of the store. Also consider what are the hours of the nearest competitor. So if somebody can go and walk to get something to drink or eat, are they open late? Are they open early? Whereas your vending machine is open all the time. What's the product selection there? If they're selling a can of, actually there's a location we have and there's a little cafeteria, a little cafe. For lunch, people go in there and buy, and lunch and breakfast, people go in there and buy meals, and they have a little bit of snacks and drinks. And so I noticed that they were selling like Coke, Mountain Dew, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero. And all of a sudden, my Coke, Mountain Dew, and Diet Coke stopped selling. So when I went and saw that they added that to their supply, then I took it out of my machine. I added Pepsi, ginger ale, and a lemonade, and there's no competition since they don't sell that. Also, our prices are the same, but they're not open 24 hours. So our vending machine is always available, where they're only available during breakfast and lunch. So if somebody's there working late, they can't necessarily go to that cafeteria and buy anything. So our machine's there. So we went out on that one. Volume is a really important thing to consider as well. So this is something that you'll learn as you get more machines, to be able to tell if it's going to be, if the area or even that location is high volume because of the demographic. So if you have machines in that area, so we have a couple areas where we have a high density of machines, and one is a more corporate setting, and the others are warehouse settings. And the warehouses by far do more business than the corporate settings, even though they have more machines, because that's just the nature of that demographic where our machines are placed. They go and they buy drinks or they buy snacks consistently, whereas in the corporate setting they buy them less often. The last thing is what to do if you are undercharging. So if you did have this bottle of tea in your machine and it's 70 cents, and you're like, okay, I've been charging 70 cents. How do I make my extra $8 back that I lost off this case? Or $13 that I lost off this case? So once we set a price, we typically don't increase it unless, of course, our cost goes up. If our cost goes up, then that cost is directly carried over to what the purchase price of that item is going to be. The cost of things don't really change that often, but if you bought something on sale and you didn't know it was on sale, that could be play a factor in you not charging enough for the item. But should that happen to you, what you could do is you could offer a different flavor. So just take this tea out and offer a juice or something else, and then mark the juice, the price of the juice up to what it should be. So you take out the tea and put the juice at $1.25 or $1.50, whatever is the prices will be at your location, and then bring the tea back. And when you bring the tea back, and of course you don't do this like within a week or anything, you bring the tea back at $1.25 or $1.50, whatever the juice was. So that's one way you can do it. The other way is if there's a larger size of this item, keep the same item, but just increase the size, and then make the price reflective of the larger size. And then we usually use like those little Starburst sale signs and say like larger size, new price, or whatever, something like that. Just let people know. Another way you can do it is just you can find another source. So like, for instance, Costco is not cheap to me. If you have a Costco business center, you're going to get better pricing than if you have just a regular Costco warehouse. So if you're shopping at a Costco warehouse and there's a Costco business center in your area, then you should shop at the business center instead, and then you'll get cheaper prices on a lot of your product. Or you should switch the store. Sam's is generally cheaper than Costco, so maybe you can shop there. BJ's, sometimes they don't have the same items all the time, so you can shop there, but maybe it's on sale. Sam's and Costco have sales all the time, and they tell you what's on sale. So if you know that Coke is super popular at your locations and Coke's on sale, even if you don't need it, buy a couple extra cases, so that way, as time goes on, you're saving a little bit per can on Coke because you got it on sale. So some of our expensive items like Monster, Cliff Bars, Kind Bars, if they're on sale, even if we have enough in our shelves, we still might grab an extra box or two just to maximize on that cost. So remember, if you have no other way to know how much to charge, whatever your price per each is, multiply by 2.2. That is the minimum price you should charge, and then make it either in 0 or 5. Or go to your local grocery store, see how much it is for a single bag of chips or a single bag or a single drink or whatever it is of that same size that you're going to offer, and then you offer it for that price. But please don't lose $13.20 on an item because you didn't use common sense, you didn't ask, or you didn't do some research. So if you guys have any questions, pop them in the comments below. And until next time, thank you for watching.